probably going to be a given that I'm late every on Thursdays. I think I go to bed at 4. Then I realized one of my phones was dead and I had to wait. Now my cats are being all, I don't know, they're obsessed with something that's not under the couch. I even lifted the couch up and let them explore, and they're still messing with it. I'll tell you what, I feel sore. I am sore. We did 3 days so far, so we hit every muscle group. I hit every muscle group so far this week, and we're recycling again. Different exercises, but in all muscle groups. And I did have kind of extra workouts today, not actual real workouts, but yard work yesterday. Had a couple huge Instacart orders that I took Monday and Tuesday. That, of course, I'm trying to beat the clock, trying to make that that money as quick as possible so I can move on to the next one. But heavy, lots of stuff. You saw my TikTok, the one I made. That was a lot of heavy shit, and that was hard to pull that cart around the store. Then I had to unload the cart again. I loaded the cart, then I had to unload the cart into my truck, then unload my truck. And then yet the one on Tuesday was just a huge shopping order that after I found almost everything, the last few items were hard to find. I had to keep jumping back over around the store, running around the store. So got a little sweaty. But yeah, I'm feeling a lot of soreness that I didn't feel the first 6 weeks, which makes sense because the first 6 weeks it was kind of like we're just slowly increasing weight as we feel we need, and you really can't make too many adjustments mid-set. You only had one set, so that's quick. But now that we're doing 2 sets with higher weight, we're making adjustments, in between sets already. So I think that plus the different warm-up videos that I'm using, technically cardio videos that I'm using, changing up a little routine there. I'm feeling some soreness. Legs are stiff, chest is still a little sore from Monday. My arms aren't feeling as much as I wanted. My abs, my back, and my biceps from Tuesday aren't feeling as sore and tight as the rest of me. So hopefully we'll make some good adjustments tomorrow, because that'll be ab, back, and bicep day, and start feeling a little more then. So, but yeah, so far it's been a decent week with this workout. I'm a little bleh today. Instead of 4 o'clock in the morning with my son watching TV, he just went to bed like 20 minutes ago. It's 11:30. So hopefully I'll have yesterday's video posted on YouTube shortly. I edited it and went to produce it. It's what's called produce button. Process it, and I had a runtime error after I let it sit there for like 8 hours, because it takes about 6 to 8 hours to process a 2-hour video in HD. But of course, first time I ever had that gave me a runtime error. So I reset it, restarted the processing, and then I woke up this morning and the same runtime error. So I reset the computer completely, closed out the app and reset the computer. Hopefully this time won't be an issue. The first time I've had it in the 6.5 weeks that I've been making these videos. First time I had an issue with processing it. Computer slow. It's slow making those videos, but sometimes the computer locks up, or the app locks up, and I got to restart the app. But never had an issue with the production side of the video. So hopefully I won't get too far behind. So if that's done by late this evening, I can still be on time to make this one later today too. So Yeah, so just a little blah. No migraine today though. That's good. So no migraine. That's going to help definitely. Yeah, that's it. So today is week 7, day 4. So back to the beginning of the cycle of the routine. Chest, shoulders, and triceps. Again, like I said earlier, different set of exercises than we did on Monday. If you've been following me along, you know that the routine is exactly the same. We just changed the set to rep ratio. The warm-up / cardio is going to be hip-hop abs, fat-burning cardio. And yes, I've already watched the video of me doing this, and I look stupid. Especially at the angles that you guys are watching me at. My fat, out of shape ass, doing these old school hip hop moves, modified hip hop moves, the exercises. So yeah, before we get started, though, I don't have to go through it like really in detail again. Just the rest of the week, I'm going to keep doing this for the first week. At the end of week 5, which was the end of the first like cycle of the routine here, the 1 of 30, I was writing them down and told you guys if you were doing them to write them down as if you were continuing the 1 of 30 for 1 more week. So all your notes would have been like, yep, I'm going to keep that weight the same for next week, or yep, I'm going to add some more weight to next week, as if you were still doing the exact same routine. So I have all my notes here. You can't really see them, but I have all my notes here from the end of week 5, the last cycle, the last week of that series. So if I did 25 pounds and I said I was going to keep it the same, then I'm going to add additional for this cable pullover. I would add additional 5 pounds to that for my first set of 2 of 15. Another example here for behind the neck press, that way. I did 15 pounds. I said, you know what, I can add some weight to that. So I would have taken that up to 20 pounds if we were doing 1 of 30. But since we are doing 2 of 15, we're increasing on top of that as well. So just like the first one, we're adding weight. We're still going to add weight to this, but we're adding weight to what we thought we were going to do. So instead of going from 15 to 20, I would be going from 15 to 25. So when you cut your rep count down, you got to add more weight. So if I felt comfortable doing, thank you. If I felt comfortable doing 20 pounds for 30 reps, 20 pounds is not going to work for 15 reps. Because when you're doing a count of 30, you're not going to feel any type of even burning sensation until you get to around 22 to 25. That's when you'll start feeling it, and then around 25 to 27, 28, that's when you're going to start feeling a little more, whether you're going to be able to add more or not. So when you're hitting 15 reps, you shouldn't feel what you're going to feel doing a 30 rep set. So we have to increase the weight anyway. Now I probably could increase more on each of those, and judging from the rest of the week, I'm pretty sure on almost every set that I did, almost every set looks like 1, 2, 3, 3 exercises out of the 10 on the first day I did not increase weight for the second set. And it looks like one exercise out of 10 on the second day I did not increase weight. And then yesterday we were 6 leg exercises. Every one of those I increased weight on the second set. And most of those, or I would say I'm not going to go back through it, but I would say roughly, just a good handful of those are going to increase again when we come back to them next week. So yeah, the nice thing about having more sets is you have more options to increase the weight to get closer to where you need to be to actually benefit yourself. The first series was more cardio endurance. This is more endurance and toning. The next 6 weeks after this will be more toning and strengthening. And then we got strengthening and building, and then building and shaping. It's a year-long setup designed to build upon each other, while still losing the turn this way, losing the fat. So I do not want to go through a bulking and cutting phase. If that's what you do, I'm not trying to shit on you about it, but it's not really the healthiest thing to do. Okay, throwing your body through different types of changes rapidly like that, it's not really good. That's why, you know, actors like Christian Bale, who will drop, you know, will take a role and then drop 50 pounds in 3 months. You know, they have health issues for a while afterwards. Or another case where I think Ryan Gosling, he was supposed to play in that, I can't remember the name of it. He was supposed to play a dad in this movie that was made off a book where the girl is killed, but she's kind of living in a dream world, and they're following along real life at the same time while the family's trying to cope with her death. I can't remember it. It was a fairly good movie. I haven't read the book though, but it had Mark Wahlberg in it as the dad, as opposed to Gosling. Had Stanley Tucci in it, playing the bad guy. Can't remember it. Good movie, but Ryan Gosling was cast, and he knew the dad was supposed to be kind of an average dad, so he put on like 50 pounds or something of fat. So these actors will do that, and it's not really healthy for them to do that. So it's kind of thinking that the same way when you think about cutting and bulking. It's really hard. I mean, if you're trying to get max gains, you know, you're going to have to bulk, okay, and then you're going to have to cut afterwards. If you do it slowly, you know, it's not really that big of a deal. But all those fast ones like the competition bodybuilders do, it's not super healthy for you. I'm not really one, you know, obviously I should be one to tell you this, but I don't look like the guy to tell you this, but it's not the healthiest thing to do. Okay. So yeah. Real fast. Yesterday I kind of went on a rant about guns and gun control and gun violence and stuff like that, and I'm not going to do that again today. But my main concern, obviously, is like we got to address the root causes of why these kids are doing this kind of stuff, or these I guess they're still kids. They're always somewhere around 16 to 20 or something like that when these things happen. But there are root causes behind these things that need to be addressed. All right, and yeah, he got super skinny for that. Yep. For the Joker movie, yeah, he did. Not healthy. Great performance, great movie, but it's not healthy to do. That's why a lot of times I would prefer them taking somebody who's closer to looking like it. And we have all the technology to kind of do. Just think what they did with Chris Evans in Captain America: First Avenger. I mean, they made him like half the size with computer animation and stuff. They can do that. You don't actually have to put your body through it anymore. Then again, it's going to cost a hell of a lot more money. So, and I mean, kudos to them for the dedication. You know, that shows a lot of dedication to their art form. But I honestly think that you should cast people that fit. There's so many actors, so many good actors, so many different looks and different
body types. Like I would not, never in my life would I have cast Colin Farrell to play the Penguin in the Batman. Never, ever. I don't care how good. I love Colin Farrell. He's a great actor, but never, ever. I've been like, you want to play Gordon? I'm like, we'll cast you as Gordon. You know, Gordon, or we'll cast you as somebody else. You know, if we'll give you a major role. Why would you put him in a fat suit and make him look completely? It looks nothing like him. I don't care how many. I watched the movie. I'm like, it doesn't look like him. Doesn't sound like him. There's like, I can't, even in his eyes, you couldn't even tell because the makeup was so. I mean, great FX people, but you couldn't tell. So why not just cast somebody that has that look? Granted, I'm also not advocating for people to be overweight. You know, I'm here trying to lose weight. I'm not going to say that being overweight is good, but if that's who you're going to, if that's the character, then you should cast somebody like the character. I mean, Danny DeVito's Penguin is a different story because they needed him. Tim Burton's vision was a lot different. Tim Burton's video was Tim Burton's Penguin was made to be a freak, you know, a freak of nature, an abomination, you know, type character. So he was a different take on the Penguin. So he needed a lot of makeup, but they picked somebody that fit the stature of the Penguin. It's like putting somebody in a muscle suit instead of actually using somebody who has muscles. Same concept. But yeah, you have slim pickings when you're trying to get the actor that you actually want to portray the thing to. So I guess I'm not a producer, I'm not a director, I'm not an actor. Even though I'd probably like to be, I think it'd be fun. I would love to do it. But yeah, I mean the dedication of their work. I mean, if you're making millions of dollars to make a movie, then yeah, you know, I can see like you having to do something. That's why I think it's funny that people have these. I'm not doing that for $8 million. I'll do it for one. You know, I'll do it. I'll do it for a couple $100,000. Cool. Just get me out of debt. I'll do whatever the fuck you want. You know, and these guys are bitching about an extra $1 million. So yeah, it didn't look healthy. It wasn't supposed to look healthy. His character was not supposed to look healthy. The Joker 2 second. I'm not saying it's going to be bad, but that should have been a solo movie. Completely. That movie was a different take on the Joker that wrapped into the Batman mythos, but it wasn't the Batman mythos. You know, they had to keep them in the same type of universe, like an alternate universe thing. But it ended so perfectly that you could have a second movie, but you didn't need one. You know, a lot of people don't want a second movie. It would be interesting to if they put as much effort into it and made it as good as this one. Then yeah, I will agree that it might be good. You know, and it might be a good watch. But it's not needed. That's the thing. It's not needed. So I'm not excited for it. I'm more worried about it. I'm more worried if they're doing it more for a cash grab, or if they're actually going to put some effort in. And I do not think it should not be called anything along the lines of Joker 2. You know, it should even have. I don't think it has Joker in the title. You know, I think it should be something along the. You know, it's a follow-up movie. It's a sequel, but you know, I don't think it should be even named remotely the same thing. You know, like just call it like The Rise or something, or The Rise of Destruction, or The Rise of Chaos, or you know, something completely off kilter that is not even, you know, title-wise it's not related, but they call it the Joker 2, or, you know, it's going to be, it's just going to, I think it's going to ruin the whole aspect of it. we're still talking about the Joker? Or are we talking about Penguin in the Batman movie? Joker? Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I think more so if they're gonna do it. I mean, obviously everybody is like following him, but he killed somebody on live TV. You know, I think it's spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the Joker, I'm sure anybody has now. It's been out for a while now. So, but hey, he killed the TV host on live TV. That Maury guy. Was it Maury? I think it's Murray. I think he might be like the new crime boss. That would be fine. Kind of a reluctant crime boss. Like he was basking in all the power that he had, you know. And I think didn't he lose his stutter by the end of it? I think in the movie. I only saw it in the theater one time. I think we saw it opening night too, or at least very close to it. But yeah, I think he did. But yeah, I think a pseudo hero type character that the city loved because they loved him at the end. Obviously, they were following him. Everybody was wearing the Joker mask and everything because he was the vigilante, and Bruce Wayne was still a child at the time in that movie. So, making him like a pseudo anti-hero type character that's not really an anti-hero. Like the people believe he's an anti-hero type character. He's the hero they need. But he's not. You know, he's dark. He's you know, he's insane. You know, but they look at him like they're idolized. I think that might be a good way of taking it. But I think making him mayor, I don't like that idea. Not saying that they couldn't make it work, but I personally don't like that idea. Absolutely not. No. But it could. It could. That's one thing that I was saying watching it. I said the joke. I told my son after we watched it. We saw the Batman on the preview night, and we left. And I'm like, I could actually see Joaquin Phoenix's Joker in that universe. But no, they're completely different. Because they did have the Joker in the Batman. There was a scene where you can't see him, then they had the deleted scene that they released on YouTube afterwards, that has more of an interview. Had more of a darker, insane version of the Joker. Yeah, because I think that Joker was more so. I mean, he was smart, but I think he was more acting. Again, I have to rewatch it, but he was more. He was darker and more villainous. At least the Jack Nicholson Joker was. He was a gangster, turned into the Joker, turned crazy, and just kind of took over the town. You know, he took over. That's what he was doing. He was more of, I think, true to the comic book Joker. And then Heath Ledger's version, he just wanted to watch the world burn. That was his thing. There was a method to his madness. And then Jared Leto's stupid Joker was a crime boss, you know,
that was his character wrapped around. He was like a modern gangster crime boss, which I didn't like because Jared Leto, he's a good actor. He's another one of those method actors too that I think kind of go over the top, but I just didn't like his take. I didn't like his character, but yeah, he was more of like a drug lord type crime boss, you know, as opposed to being like a, yeah, I didn't like it. We'll just do that. Joaquin Phoenix's character is he's just, I think, fed up, and he's delusional, and but again, they show that he's smart as well. But he's a cowering, childlike character that just kind of goes insane from just the life that he lives, and he's crazy because his mom made him was crazy, and all this happens all to this guy all at once, and it works for that character. But the one in the Batman, I think he's more murderous and crazy, I think. So again, I have to rewatch him and actually sit down and compare them exactly what they are. But yeah, no, the Joker from the Joaquin Phoenix Joker is not connected to the Robert Pattinson Batman movie. But they could have worked them together if they wanted to. They both have a very dark soul to the movies, I guess you could say. And it could work. Honestly, I'll be honest with you, if they would have done it right, if Warner Brothers would have done it right, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker could have worked in the Justice League as well. Because one of the things that didn't get played on good enough was the, remember in the it was Batman vs Superman, I think, when they showed it, but they showed the Robin suit in the Batcave, indicating that the Joker had already killed Robin. Oh yeah, no problem. I'm a big comic book geek and movie geek. Honestly, if you want anybody who's got some really good takes on the movies and stuff, go follow Straw Hat Goofy if you aren't already. He's a movie review guy. He's like the TikTok movie review guy. Very, very, very intelligent guy. Has a lot of good reviews on different movies, and he does a lot of comic book movies as well. And he loves doing it. That's all he really does on here. Every so often he might dress something that's in the news, but typically sticks to that. He does very well at that, and that's what he does. You know, he's a movie review guy, so he probably has a bunch of different videos on him as well. And then ask him that, he might make a video about it. He'll put the effort into sitting down and watching all this stuff and researching it and being like, yeah, this could do this could do that, you know. But yeah, Straw Hat Goofy, like a straw hat, and you see the little, they throw on like the farmers wear a straw hat. And then Goofy, like in the Goofy dog that people think is a cow from Disney. Straw Hat Goofy. Great guy. Great videos, great content. But yeah, comic book movies he's like very big on. But yeah, as far as my comic book stuff, I most of my comic books are Superman and Spider-Man. That's like 99% of my stuff. Yeah, definitely check them out. Great content. Yeah, I know most of my Batman stuff comes from the movies. Some of the cartoons. I know some comic stuff just from watching documentaries and stuff, but I don't have any, and I never had any Batman comics.
which is weird because I remember when they killed Robin, and I didn't buy it. I don't know why I didn't buy it. Probably because I was spending all the money on Spider-Man stuff at the time. Dr. Fate, I am excited about Black Adam because Dr. Fate's in it. The first comic books that I collected were Dr. Fate, and I loved them. And then some reason I decided to get into Spider-Man more so than anything else, and I traded all my Dr. Fate collection. Granted, I didn't have a lot of good stuff. I had whatever volume that was out at the time. I think it was volume 2, Dr. Fate volume 2. Might have been 3 because it came out in the 40s. The original came out in the 40s. Whatever was out in the early 90s, that's what I bought. And I read every one of them. And I bought a bunch of the annuals and everything else, and I traded them all in and started buying Spider-Man comics. And I'm kind of glad I did because I bought a $60 comic book, a 30-year-old comic book when I was 13. It's now 60 years old. I bought it for $60. It's worth at least $1,500. I have seen the new Doctor Strange movie. We just saw it. We went and saw it on Mother's Day, actually. My kids took me to go see a movie on Mother's Day. But that's because it was my birthday present. My birthday was April 10th, so he's like, my son's like, I'm gonna take us all to go see. He bought all the tickets for me, him, my daughter, and her boyfriend. We always go to movies, all those comic book movies together. So, but yeah, I did see it. And since it's still new, I don't want to give any spoilers. But if you have any questions for you, I can probably kind of wrap around it without spoiling anything, especially if you haven't seen it. But Straw Hat Goofy, I guarantee you, has movies on content on that as well. But again, his will have spoilers. I know he has a bunch of videos on that already. He had a bunch before it came out. He had a few after he saw it. But yeah, there'll definitely be spoilers on there. Have you seen it? The other day, very interesting. Yes, I did like it too. I have been avoiding. See, what pissed me off is that, not about the movie. What pissed me off about pretty much the internet, is that I was watching The Mandalorian, and I'm pretty sure they're on like season 3 by now. But remember the end of at the end of Mandalorian, I'm scrolling through TikTok and I'm like, what is this? I'm thinking it's just a Star Wars clip. I think it's just some Star Wars, but I'm watching it and I realized it was, what the hell just happened? An ad just popped up. Okay, I'm still there. Yeah, I'm still there. That was weird. Like an Instacart ad just popped up. I'm already on Instacart. I don't know why it would pop up telling me to go shop. Yeah, I'm scrolling through TikTok and I'm thinking I'm watching a scene on The Mandalorian. And then I realized it was the scene where Luke was coming to grab the Grogu, at the end of season 1, I believe. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. They brought Luke back. The next thing I know, I'm watching it, and I'm sitting here. I am realizing how disappointed I am because next thing I'm watching all these videos on TikTok of these wives filming their husbands watching that scene for the first time and not knowing what's happening, and they're like super excited. I'm sitting there. I'm like, this is cool and all, but I missed that I didn't get to have that excitement just thrown in my face because they even set it up to be a reveal, like afterwards, like you knew it was him coming. You're like, is that Luke? Is that? Oh my God, that's gotta be Luke. Because then he takes him back. Oh, I didn't get to have that because of TikTok. Because people will post shit without putting spoiler alerts on, and that pisses me off. And then same thing with Spider-Man, No Way Home. Yeah, No Way Home. Do you know how exciting that would have been in the theater if we did not know that they were bringing the other two back. You know? And I was so disappointed when Tobey Maguire characters was shown. When they showed Andrew, I got this like little warm, tingly feeling come through. They showed him and he kind of flew through the thing and like, and then like, well, let's see if we can find Peter in another one. And I'm like, please don't do that again. Please don't reveal Toby that way. And then there he is. He's just kind of like, oh, hi guys. And I'm like, that was so disappointing. And I knew he was coming, you know, and that pissed me off. I'm like, I missed that. We didn't get to have that excitement. So anytime I saw anything about the new movies, I'm like, oh, the new Doctor Strange, scroll. You know, the Batman, scroll. I didn't want anything, nothing. It was so bad that I had no clue, because it was done so well that Colin Farrell was the Penguin. I'm like, I saw the clip at the beginning. Thank you for coming to our preview, and I saw Colin Farrell, and I knew he was in the movie, but I had no clue. I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, I thought Colin Farrell was in this. And then there was like one scene. I think one scene. I'm sitting there. I'm like, wait, is he the Penguin? Then I had to look it up right afterwards. Like, holy fuck, he was the Penguin. Like, but I tried my damnedest to avoid everything about it, and I did very well in that too. So when I got there, I'm like, and I made sure on one of my videos, one of my lives here before my workout, I said we just saw the movie. It was great. I highly recommend it. I'm like, however, if you have young children, go see it first before you take them. I'm like, this is like legit, very, very close to a horror movie. I'm like, so I would advise you not to take your kids to go see it unless you go see it first. It's just, I'm like, it's a great movie. It's very well put together. Everything is cool about it. I'm like, it's not like a horror movie, but there are a lot of aspects in there. There is blood. There is scary imagery in the movie. Definitely go watch it first before you take your kids. Because I'm sitting there, I'm like, holy crap! I'm like, and the again, I don't do any spoilers, but I'll just say the Black Bolt thing. Everybody in the audience was like, Gary was talking about it. I figured there was going to be it. Me and my friends were still pretty excited about it. Yeah, it was, but there was a lot of scary imagery in there. A lot of jump scares, a lot of scary stuff that would scare the shit out of little kids. But yeah, I mean, I have Carnage. Carnage is one of my favorite characters, which pissed me off in the movie. It was so terrible. Carnage, they did Carnage phenomenally. Woody Harrelson did great with the character they gave him, but the movie was garbage. You know, special effects on Carnage was great. They did Carnage justice in designing him, although I hate the way they did Venom. But Carnage, the character Carnage, is one of my favorite villains. And that's what pisses me off about the movie, because he is 1000% a psychotic murderer. That's the character of Cletus Cassidy. And they give him the symbiote, and they made it a love story. They made it a Bonnie and Clyde. They made it a natural born killer love story type thing between him and the other girl, the Screech girl. I'm like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. The whole movie, I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, just show Carnage so I can go the fuck home. I'm like, yeah, shh, don't do that. Don't do that. It might be, you're the only one in here, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But I'm not going to say that out loud, because I am live streaming on other platforms. Nobody else is on, but I am recording for YouTube, so I'm not going to repeat what you said there. So that's a spoiler. But like I said, you are the only one in here, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, the dark, twisted comic books never bothered me. Dr. Fate, there were a lot of comics. I can remember there were a lot of comics that were. There were some lighthearted ones, but there was a lot of darkness in it. Moon Knight was pretty good too. Have you seen Moon Knight? Moon Knight's a good one. I know it's not a movie, but that's pretty good. Oscar Isaac, I got a new respect for him as an actor watching that. I'm not going to say the storyline was phenomenal, you know, but the way he portrayed all those different characters, awesome. Robert Pattinson, I started watching some of his movies for the Batman. There's another artist I respect a lot more. Not because of the Batman, but I decided to watch a few movies once I heard he was announced to play Batman. I said, well, I'm like, I've seen him in other stuff, like I saw him in Harry Potter, you know. Twilight was just Twilight. Not that they're horrid movies. They're not horrible movies. They're not good movies at all. They're super cheesy, and they're designed for, you know, off of books that were designed for teenage girls. So you're not going to really get much out of it. But I watched, like, I think it was The Shape of Water. No, Water for Elephants. Water for Elephants. And I'm like, okay, he's got some range. And then The Devil All the Time. If you haven't seen The Devil All the Time, it's on Netflix. It's got Robert Pattinson. It's got Tom Holland. Tom Holland's like one of the main characters, or the main character. Both of them shine in that movie. Phenomenal movie. And that's where I got like a new respect for Robert Pattinson's movie, and I'm like, yeah, he can play Batman. I had no issue with that whatsoever, and he did a good job. Still kind of weird watching it, you know. He does have this odd face when he does his brooding stuff, you know. It's just like the eyes is just, I don't know, kind of creepy. But he does have the jawline. He does have the. That's the thing. You always gotta you always gotta have somebody that's got the mouth, you know, for the Batman. You know, they gotta have like something that stands out here, you know, that looks good with the cowl, you know. For the exposed part, they gotta have like the jawline, you know. It's gotta work with the mask. Kind of like they did with Henry Cavill in Superman. They said they tried out before I think they even they picked their best actors or something for the part. They had them all try on Christopher Reeve's costume from the '80s, and they said Henry Cavill was the only one they didn't laugh at when he came out. So that's how he got the part. So I think that comes a lot. You've got to look at the part as well. You know, you can't just put somebody in a role that doesn't look the part, and that's the problem. That's why Patrick Stewart was perfect to play Professor Xavier. Even though Hugh Jackman is like a whole foot taller than the Wolverine is supposed to be, he looked like the Wolverine. You know, and he is the Wolverine. So that's why everybody's like, that's why there's some fan casting that's a lot better than sometimes that the other ones do. Like Zac Efron. Zac Efron is 5'8", so he's like an inch taller than me, I believe. Even though Wolverine's 5'3", Zac Efron's a lot closer, and he is built and has the look, which is weird because Zac Efron in High School Musical, I still see him in High School Musical. You know, I still picture him in High School Musical with that beaver cut and that little, you know, pop star looking, boyish, girly, androgynous look, you know. And now he's like this, like, jacked, you know, and he looks like a badass, you know. I'm just like, it can't be the same kid. But it is. So I think Zac Efron, I think it'd be kind of cool because Zac Efron and Hugh Jackman were in the Ringling Brother movie, the Greatest Showman, which also was a fairly decent movie as well. I think Zac Efron would be great, the perfect It's the only one I can think of. I can't find anybody else who's shorter. Josh Hutcherson, maybe. I don't think, even though he's a great actor, what the fuck is his name? I can't think of Harry Potter. I can't think of his goddamn name. Daniel Radcliffe. He does kind of have the right look if you put him in the right makeup and let him grow his beard out and stuff. He could jack him up a little bit, let him get a little jacked. He could play him. They're all short. But you got slim pickings for someone who's going to be like 5'3" to play the Wolverine. So having someone shorter like Zac Efron, who's about my height, I think that would actually work pretty well. My camera is not in the right spot. It's pissing me off. That needs to go. Oh, because that stupid thing popped on there. That should be right there. So, but yeah. Anyway, that's enough about that. All that off of talking about actors, you know, bulking and cutting and stuff like that, and changing their body shape super fast for whatever reason. Yeah, that's a lot of extra stuff. But anyway, yeah, I also, like I said, I was talking about the gun violence and stuff yesterday, and I shared something on my Facebook, and I put it on my Instagram as well. All my usernames are the same. So whatever platform if you're watching me on, I was talking about you got to address root causes, and there was a post from a teacher that was kind of talking about he made his students stop. He ended class like 5 minutes early and said, "I want you guys to talk to each other, just converse, shut up and talk, or just talk." And he said it was very wonderful to see some of the tables just light up with conversation, but there was a few that were just kind of like they didn't know what to do. You know, like the ones that would pull out their laptop, go, "Oh, okay, I don't have to do anything now, so I'm going to play on my phone or my laptop, play a game or something for the last 5 minutes." He's like, "No, talk." They didn't know how to interact with anybody. He goes, "That's sad." It's like oh, we need to do better as parents, as guardians, as teachers, as educators, as whatever it is. We need to do better to teach these kids how to open up and interact with each other on a level that hasn't been seen since I was probably a kid. You know, even back then, you know, it wasn't really a thing until Columbine that it became this like school shooting thing. I'm sure there was one every so often. You know, the guy on the tower at the university in Chicago or something back in the '60s, but yeah, a lot of the problem here's where the problem part of the problem is they've taken discipline away from schools. You can't discipline somebody else's child anymore, and then the people who usually complain about that are the ones who don't discipline their child at home in the first place. When I was a kid, if you misbehaved in school, if you did something like bad enough, you got sent to the principal's office and you came back rubbing butt cheeks, you know, because you got a whooping, you know, you got the paddle, you know. I'm not saying physical punishment is right in every situation, because it's not, but detentions were handed out more regularly. Suspensions kids don't give a shit. The only kids who give a shit about suspension are the kids that want perfect everything. You know, they're thinking about college. You know, the kids who are getting in trouble, they don't give a shit about suspension. They're like, cool, I don't have to go to school. And their parents aren't going to make them do shit because their parents are working. So the kids are going to sit at home and watch TV and when they should be at school. Suspension is doing anything. In-school detention with actually the strict teachers, the teachers that used to be drill sergeants, you know, teachers you feared. You used to fear your teacher. Okay, not horribly in a bad way. Yes. I got actually one of my more popular videos. It's not like one of my most viewed videos, but it's one of the videos I made a long time ago. It keeps popping up. People keep seeing. I keep seeing likes on that video, and it's like 2 years old now. I was talking about doing wall sits, because some kid was doing wall sits. He goes, and so I'm like, this is torture. No, it's not. I'm like, it's torture if you don't do it correctly. I like wall sits better than I like spanking. I don't like having to spank my kids. I never did. I spanked my daughter. They got, a few pops here again, a little pop in the mouth, a little smack on the hand, a little quick smack on the butt. Other than that, I bent my daughter over my knee one time when she was like 2 years old, and she just kept disobeying, the same thing. And I'm like, I think I got 2 swats, and I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this. Just wasn't the thing. But I'm like, we can do wall sits. 15 seconds in, my daughter's bawling her eyes out, and she was done. She wasn't in any real pain. I'm like, it wasn't real pain at that point in time. It's just like me getting the wall right now, sitting there about 30 seconds, like, fuck, fuck. Now, if I sat there and made her do it for like 20 minutes, then yeah, that's torture. Okay. But that's what I said in my video. I'm like, you watch that really fine shake of muscle fatigue, and then you get like 5 seconds to make them stop. And there's no pain whatsoever. It's muscle soreness. It's muscle fatigue. It's not the same thing. So what I'm feeling right now from earlier this week, my legs are feeling from yesterday after doing a leg workout and then going and mowing the lawn and carrying all that shit around the stores the past 2 days. So it's muscle fatigue. It's not torture. But yeah, physical punishment is definitely needed in certain cases for sure. Kids don't have the consequences. Take their phone away, they're going to get their laptop. Can't take the laptop away because that's how they do their homework nowadays. Kids will find a way to entertain. Put them in the corner, put a 5-year-old in the corner, they're going to be mad for like 30 seconds, and what are you going to do? You're going to hear them singing to themselves. They'll be bored, but they're going to find a way to entertain themselves. Certain things only go as certain distances. I told somebody else that I don't know why I brought it up, but I'm like, there's a fine line between being your kid's friend and being their parent. And you can be both, but you have to know, more so they have to know, when it's time to be, when you're being the parent versus being their friend. They have to understand that they can open up to you like a friend. At the same time, they have to respect you as a parent. My kids and I are friends, but I'm also, they're adults now. But I had a great relationship with my kids because we grew up, they knew that I was the parent, and they knew that they could get in trouble for certain things. And they knew at the same time that they could talk to me, and we can do things, and we can be, being a parent is not just being a parent. Being a parent is not just being a friend. You have to be both to them. And that's a lot of things that don't happen, especially with parents that work a lot, and things like that. But there are no consequences for actions. Okay, you took away the bullies, the big bull, the stereotypical bullies, and that's a good thing. But you made a new generation of bullies that are more psychological than they are physical. Okay, the physical bullies usually ended up making the bullied stronger. The psychological ones tear them down, and then they have no one to open up to. And then they try to, you have these school psychiatrists who's going out of books and not actually understanding there's a need here, and then the schools don't want to deal with this stuff, because we have to have an image, do this, and that, and this, and all this other stuff, that no real issues get addressed. So when the internalized kid who's having all these issues with everything, being picked on because nobody's seeing it, being mocked online, but it's not the point where it's actually cyberbullying, just look at any TikTok comment post on anybody's stuff. It's full of trolls, being trolls. That's what they do. They troll you now to the point that you can't do anything. And at that age, everything is internalized. You don't know how to deal with it because you have no one to open up to. Because kids don't talk to each other anymore. everybody has an image online that they're portraying. That kid from 2 days ago said, I read an article saying he was talking to some girl in Europe or something, and he goes, yeah, he seemed happy. Yeah, I have an image to portray. I'm like, you want to know the real me here? You know, I'm doing this, I'm trying to have fun, I'm trying to inspire people at the same time. I'm broke. You know, I have issues. I have things. I don't put them on here. I'm trying to put my stuff online. They need structure. Yes, structure, that's the thing. They need structure. And they don't have structure. They have schoolwork, and they have online activities. I'm not blaming technology, but there's no structure in their life. There's no real social interaction. Issues don't get dealt with properly because the parents don't know about it because they're gone all the time, or the kids are hiding in their room, as like teenagers do, and they brood. And they put on a show. They're used to. That's the thing. Kids nowadays have more acting chops than a lot of the actors do, because they grew up in front of a camera. They're used to putting on a show for people, so they can put on a show for their parents as well. They can put on a show everywhere, and they're internalizing everything. And then someday that button gets pushed, and that switch gets flipped, and they go off and do stupid shit like this. So nobody's looking for the signs that are behind the signs. They're all talking about. I saw a video where see if you notice something. And we're watching the kid, you know, because they're focusing on watching the kid get online, do this, all this stuff. I'm like, did you notice, you know, anything with this kid? He seemed kind of normal, kind of a darker kid, but he seemed kind of normal. Let's go back and watch the video, and they'll point out things. And next thing you know, they're showing what he's, you know, they kind of focus more on the computer, and he's looking at guns in the computer store. He has this paraphernalia, this, and this, and nobody's seeing it. I'm like, well, you're not looking at. Okay, why? Why is he looking at stuff? Why is he doing it? I'm like, it's not the fact that he wants to do it. That's the problem. It's the reason why he wants to do this. This is the problem. The root causes are the problem. The root causes have to be addressed. Hi. Something I said yesterday about back when guns were a household, every household had a gun, at least one gun. You think the kids touched that gun? No. The kids had respect for dad's tools, and that's a tool, it's an instrument, it's a tool. You didn't touch dad's stuff. You didn't touch that gun unless you absolutely had to. Those kids you see in movies and like, you know, like the 1800s or something, they go grab a rifle off the shelf or off the mantle. Those kids know how to handle it properly. And that's not just movie shit, that's actual real life. Kids knew how to handle that thing and had how to respect that thing and knew what it was for. You know, it wasn't a toy, okay? One thing that Kyle Rittenhouse case that a lot of people complained about was the prosecutor, like, you bought it because it looked cool, or why'd you want the AR-15? He goes, you thought it looked cool? Yeah. No, it does look cool. I'm not going to lie and say it doesn't. But that doesn't mean you don't respect the equipment just because it looks cool. It's like a car, you know. I'm not going to go buy the safest, ugliest piece of shit in the world just because I'm going to buy a car that looks cool. It's like anything else. You're not going to buy something you don't want. You know. Doesn't mean you don't respect it. You know, saying something looks cool doesn't mean you respect it. I wear clothes every day. I'm not going to clean up this crap, but why would I buy clothes that I don't want to wear? You know, just serves the same purpose because they look cool. There's a gun. I want two of them. There's Smith & Wesson 1910s. Yeah, 45 calibers, chrome or nickel plated with blue grips on them. gorgeous. It looks cool. It looks cool. I wanted a 6-shooter as my first gun. Why? Because I grew up watching, like, playing cowboys as a kid. I always had a cap gun, a little cowboy cap gun. I wanted a 6-shooter, but they're fucking expensive. So I got a Smith & Wesson 9C, M&P 9C, because it was used. It was like $300. So I got that. Is it serving the purpose? Does it look cool? Sure, it looks cool. Doesn't look as cool as that 6-shooter I wanted, that cowboy gun I wanted. Definitely doesn't look cool. Like, anybody ever seen Con Air? No, Face Off. Face Off. Nicolas Cage, John Travolta. Nicolas Cage gets out of the limo at the airport. His trench coat was flying out like this. And you see the two big guns he's got right here. Those look cool. Have not seen it. You've not seen. Face Off is awesome. It's cheesy. It's 90s. It's a 90s movie. But it's Con Air and it's Face Off, John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. They switch faces. Fun fact is Nicolas Cage will never play a bad guy. It's like one of his things. He will never play. He'll play dark anti-heroes, but he will never play the bad guy. And the only reason he agreed to play the bad guy in this movie is because 90% of the movie he was actually technically playing. He was playing the good guy. You know, even though his character, you know, that he played in the beginning of the movie is the bad guy. He's a treasure. Nicolas Cage is a national treasure. I cracked myself up. Yeah, so you'll like it. It's good. And John Travolta, great. And I'll be honest with you, you know all those movies where they switch places? You know, and a lot of times it's the complete opposite. Like they'll have the kid play the dad, and dad play the kid, or mom, Freaky Friday, things like that. And they completely go, you watch the first half of the movie where they're themselves, and they're acting as normal. But when they switch roles, all of a sudden they're like these extreme versions of a stereotypical kid and mom. You know, it's no longer like the same. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But this is one of those instances where both of the characters, like they adapted the mannerisms and the way they acted and moved and talked, and they did a phenomenal job. Like you could actually believe that each character they were playing each other, that they were the same person as they were earlier. Like literally, they switched faces. You know, you can actually believe that those are actually the original characters with different faces. So it's one of my favorite movies. So is Con Air, by the way. Nicolas Cage's southern accent in the movie is horrendous. It's terrible, but it's a great movie. I mean, it's got Ving Rhames. Is that how you say it? The dude from Pulp Fiction, the black guy from Pulp Fiction. He's in there. John Malkovich, Steve Buscemi, all in that movie. Good movie. John Malkovich. Again, another cheesy 90 movie, but it's good. So, I love both of that. Yeah, I like them both too. So, I don't know how to get on these kicks. Oh yeah, the gun thing. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with wanting something that looks cool, that looks nice. That's why those you have all those old guns that were engraved. You know, they had all those engravings on them, all those styles, designs on them, because you carried that every day, so you want it to look good. It's like wearing a watch. You know, you can wear the cheap watch if you want to. You don't care, but a lot of people wear on a fair fancy watch. Why wouldn't you want to have the fancy gun that looks good on you, with the nice gun belts and, you know, all the shiny buckles and shit? You know, why wouldn't you want that? If that's gonna be part of your attire. That's just what people did back then. So there's nothing wrong with wanting something that's cool, but the problem is nobody respects the tools anymore. Nobody teaches respect for it. I honestly believe if you did not grow up, now I didn't grow up around guns, but I always respected the equipment and knew that. But nowadays, it's everything we see in the media nowadays. It's glorifying gun violence. And granted, we had that too. We had those action, but the thing is the action stars back then that we watched that were using the guns, they were always the heroes, and the bad guys always got punished. Okay. Nowadays, we have these anti-heroes, which is nothing wrong with that, but they're growing up watching these characters and these bad guys winning in these movies. And there's more of these people that we're sympathizing with the bad guys. Kind of like I mentioned in Carnage earlier. They want you to sympathize with the bad guy. I have no problem with them trying to understand why the bad guy is the bad guy, but we are making movies where we're sympathizing with the bad guy. We're not just understanding his problem, we're understanding the reason he's doing his problem's good enough. His problem is justified, or his methods are justified because of his problem, and then that's being fed to us. And then we don't have parents. We have parents who are not teaching their kids about guns and gun safety because they didn't have them. And now we have people going out and buying guns who have never experienced anything other than watching these people they idolize in movies who are dark and twisted and are justified in their actions because they're dark and twisted and the reasons behind it. Hearing about all the shootings lately makes me think I am a Second Amendment supporter to a point. Okay, obviously, I think it should be infringed upon in certain times, like it already is. I mean, obviously, felons don't get them, and things like that. You've committed like major, violent crimes and domestic violence and things like that. You can't own a gun. And obviously, if you're mentally incapable, if you're being spoon-fed literally, even though you have a 100% American constitutional guaranteed right to own a gun because you shall not be infringed, doesn't mean that somebody who is, who has a mentality, like legit mentality of a 5-year-old should be allowed to have a gun. But he has a legal right to. He has a constitutional right to. So yeah, no, I think there should be some. I think there should be some regulations on. Like I said, I think that people who have never been around guns, never had experience with guns, should have to do some sort of training to pass to get them. I don't think it should be anything major. It should be just like getting your driver's license. Okay. I'm more afraid of people on a car than I am of people with guns half the time. I'm on the road all day long. I'm screaming my head off at people in the car. I'm not screaming at them. I'm not actually stopping up, pulling next to them, honking my horn, flicking them off, and like, you motherfucking asshole. I'm saying that, but I'm not like confronting them about it. I'm venting my frustrations out of my car. But people can't drive. Like, why can't we just have training? But if you grew up generation after generation of hunters and farmers and things like that who've had guns in their family, and you've been doing gun competitions or shooting competitions since you were a kid, yeah, you don't got to take the fucking training. But I had to take a training course to get my concealed carry. Why can't we just do a quick little training course to make sure you know how to handle a gun properly? Even just a tiny bit. Okay, you don't got to go through training. Just just have a little quick course. It could be like an hour-long course. It's just something, okay, on just how to handle it, treat it. You know how many times I was in the gun store? I was in the gun store getting more ammo, looking at new guns, and I'm watching these people. Obviously, these guns are empty, but I'm sitting there and I'm watching people. You know, this will actually work better. They're looking at the gun. They're like, oh, okay, you know, and they're like literally. The guy is standing where he just hand it to him because he just, you know, he does this, he makes sure he clears the chamber, goes like this, puts it up like this, okay, good to go, and then hands it to him like this. You know, actually hands it to him like this with the barrel down, the way you're supposed to. And then all of a sudden they're going like this, and they're like, oh, obviously it's empty, but at the same time, come on. And I'm standing there, I'm just like, you know, they'll do like this, and the next thing they know, it's pointed at me. I'm like, you gonna say something about that? I'm like, you're literally working in the gun store. You're supposed to be the person who's explaining it. I'm like, it's like, hey, I know it's empty. I know I just checked it. I know it's empty. But you cannot point the barrel at anybody. Like, I made sure if I wanted to know how it felt in my hand holding it, I made sure that there was nobody around, you know. I'm like, okay, I checked, you know, hand it to me, I put the, you know, the slide back, and I'm like, okay, cool, and I look over here, and I'm like, all right, I'm like, but there's nobody there. Okay, and I'm like, okay, cool, and I know that it's the back of the building, there's nothing back there but trees, because I know the gun range is underneath, it goes. Anyway, but I'm like, no, I don't like that one. It doesn't feel right, you know. Same thing with the AR-15. I'm like, I'm holding it like this, checking it. I look and I make sure there's nobody over there, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I kind of like how that feels, you know. Which is why it's super popular because it's lightweight, it's easy to use. There's not a lot of recoil. But when somebody's in your store and they're not even handling the gun properly when it's empty, you expect them to handle it properly when it's loaded? I would hope so, obviously, but, you know. But still, if you can't follow the 4 general rules, I think it's 4, then you can't, you shouldn't own one. So, but yeah, you too, thank you. I have to work out. I've been down here for over an hour now. Almost an hour. I don't know how long we're down here. So, I gotta stop getting on these kicks. Stop doing it. I'm gonna be starving by the time I finish this. Okay, so anyway, my son should be asleep by now. At this point. So I can turn my stuff on if he sleeps or anything. But he's got to be asleep first. So I'm going to turn these things back on. So yeah, today's warm up. Now that I'm actually started, nobody's actually jumped on Twitch or anything else over here. Just chit-chatting with people on TikTok, which is fine. No problem chit-chatting. I'd rather be chit-chatting about working out and stuff like that because that's what this whole video is about. But it's cool. So today's workout, today's warm-up is going to be the fat-burning cardio. Same thing we did Monday. Same thing we did on Monday from Hip Hop Abs, and yes, I will look extremely stupid. I'm going to restart this on Instagram because I think it's about to turn off. Did Instagram change its live? Anybody know? Anybody there? Because I think I've been down here for over an hour, and I don't think it's restarting on me. Why do I keep going to Reels? Live, that's what I'm trying to do. There we go. Sorry, I'm wasting time. Add title, start. Okay. Instagram's only supposed to go for an hour, but I swear I've been talking for more than an hour. Thought it was like 11:30 when I came down here. Maybe 11:38, 11:48, but that's supposed to turn off after an hour. All right, time to get started. Time to get started hours ago. See, the thing is, I went to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. I got up at like 9:30. My alarm went off like 8, 8:15, 8:30, 8:45, and then I went back to sleep. Then I got a spam phone call at 9:30, and that woke me up. And I'm just like, oh. So, ready to go. We're gonna go. We're gonna start. We're gonna go. Again, I say this every time. This is cheesy as hell. But I look stupid doing it. But it works.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Sean G. Welcome to Hip Hop Abs. Are you ready for a good workout that's going to sculpt those abdominals and make you feel real good? And with me, Sean G, and you know what? You came to the right place, and we're going to get it together. So here we go. And 5, step side to side. Yeah. Now listen, I got Tanya over here to my left. She's amazing, because she's going to modify everything for you so that you got it. Just cut right here, okay? So hit it down. Come on. Got it? Good. Come on. Give me 4 more here. Go 5 and 6. Keep the abs tight. Look, punch it out again. Now, without we doing hip hop abs, I just want you to remember that you have to keep everything tight so that we can get some good abs. So you know what? Just side to side with a tight something. Y'all, come on. Say hi to my friends. Say what's up, y'all. Yeah. So here we go right here. Punch it out. Right, left. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do right here. We're going to go into the pump. Right? We're going to use our tilt-up tight method. Right here. Pump it up. Let's go. Pump it. Pump it. Now look, as you pump, tilt-up tight. Shoulders are over. Hips come over. And you tight right here. Ready? Step side to side. Right here. Ah, yeah. You got it? Good. Now we're stepping out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a big slide. But you can play with Tanya if you want. Here we go. Come on. Good. Let's push. Go. Come on. You got it? Give me 4 more. Go 4 and 3. Now look. Pump it out right here. Pump. Push. You got it. Here we go. Let's side to side right here. Push out. Go. Go. Hit. Hit. Do it again. Come on. Hit it out. You got it. Ready? Pump. Pump right here. Pump in. Yeah. You got it. Hit. Give me here. Move it up. Let's go. Tighten up the core. Go back here. Work it out. Are you here with me? You got it. Now listen, I need you to come up together. This time, cut your hands up high and speed your core down low. Come on, kiss it and get it. Ready? Watch it out right here. Now, are you good, man? You got everything good. You got to keep it sharp. There's 4 more. And 4 and 3. Shake it back down side. Let's do it. Come on. Push. Ah. As you do this, your abs are working. Come on, push. You got it? Here we go. Walk in and pump. Come on. Backing up, back high. Go back, do it again, y'all. Hit it. Oh, feeling good? Step side to side. Come on, go. You're doing a great job. I can feel it. So pump to me right here. Work, clap up. Look, do it again. Come on. Get it out. Get it out. Come on. Ready? Pump to me right here. Let's go. Work it. Go back. Ha. Do it again, y'all. Get it out. Come on. Go. Up to me, come on, push, go back, come on, hit, how about one more time, go ahead, and hit, come on, up to me here, push, come back, right here, look, watch wide, right here, come on, hit it, now, it's nice, we want to see lunges to work those legs, stretch them out, okay, so here we go, knee over ankle, 2 and 2, right and left, right, and left, and right, tighten up the stomach, 4 and 3, now, let's hold just a little bit longer inside. Hold to the other side. Let's go. Hold. Come on, do it again. Hit it. One more time. Hit. Hold it down right here. Hold. 4, 5, and 6. Stretch that hamstring. Got it? Look. Open up the hips here. Open up here. Ah, that feels really good. Bring your hands to your knees. A little more. Contract your knees. Arch your back up. Right, let's do something. Exhale. And out. And release. Now roll up here. Go ahead. Good. Take a deep breath in. Hit. and exhale down. Good. Let's stay here. Just take a deep breath. Exhale, tighten the core. Do it again. Let's do it a couple more times that you really feel it. Your hands are slightly bent. Keep going. Come on. Lift. Exhale down. How about one more time? We got one more in it. And lift. Here we go. Right here. Punch it, right and left. Come on. Push. Here we go. Are you good? You feeling good? Okay, now we're going to go into something called the basic bounce in a second. We'll get it and bring your feet together, and we're going to do that tilt up tight method to work it out. Are we good? Can we go? Here we go. And 4, and 3. Here we go. Now, bounce it out right here. Push it. Now, tighten up. Push. And go. Come on. And hit. And go. Look, I'm still tight. My shoulders are over, and my hips are under, and I'm digging through, and I'm tightening up my core. Here we go. Let's still start to pump it up. Ready? Right foot, step out, and get it. Keep the same movement down. 4 more here. Hit 5. Bring your left foot together, and hit. Now, as you're doing this, tighten up the core. Ready? Left foot back out here. Now, take your shoulders over, tilt tight, bring your right foot together. Hit. Push. We got that? Look, let's go 4 counts. Step it up. 4, 3, and bring it together. Hit, hit. Do it again, right here. See? Tuck, bring it together. Hit. How about we do that again? Do it again. Come on. Push. Use it together. Hit. One more time, right here. Now let's what we're going to do is bring our hands to our shoulders because we're going to pump it through this time. Hit, under here. Go. How about we do it again? 4, 3, and come down. Are you contracting that stomach? Come on. Hit. Contract the abs. Tighten them up. Do it again right here. Now this time, what we're going to do is take it 2 and 2, 2 and 2. You got 1, take it up, push here. 1, 2, and again, you got it? Hit. You got to tighten up the core and go 4 more. Come on, you got it. You look good. You feel good. You get abs. Come on, go. Here we go. Now, let's go tempo right away. Up, down. 1 and 2. Single steps here. Tighten up. Go. Come on, take it in. Work. How we feeling, y'all? Are you dancing for me? Are you getting those abs? We'll give you 4 more. 4. Tighten up. Ready? Work it out. Right, left. Good job. Now listen. Pump it up. Always got to remember that when we do it. All the time. This time, they get you that nice core, okay? Keep it moving. Now here, we're going to do something called the party now. March wide here, okay? Go 4. Same position, but bounce 2 and 2. Right here, look. 2 and 2. Right? And left. Now as we do this, again, we're still using the tilt tuck tighten method because my hips are coming under and my shoulders are coming over and I'm and hit. But you know what? If it's the party bounce, we gotta add something to this, don't we, y'all? Now, start to bring your arms up here. Good. Push on the side. 2 and 2. My shoulders are coming up. Alright, my elbows are coming up. My shoulders are coming over. My hips are tucking under. And I'm moving. And I'm going. And I'm getting some ass. Can we move on? All right, listen, here we go. Now, bring it 2 to the side, left and step together, and other side, go. Now, when I come together, it's kind of like I'm doing that basic bounce thing, with my knees together, and I'm doing that tilt tuck tight thing. Do you feel me? You got it. But I want you to have fun with it and go. But keep those abs moving. Now, standing on my elbow. Go ahead, take the right arm up, push. Or again, see that? Now this is how you get to the dance floor, like this. Hey, go, come on. 4 more. Dig and dig. Hit. Do it again. You ready? Now, any time you're here, if you want to stay low, you can go up. Come with me. We're going to jump through it. Push. Now, it's a little high impact. So you can stay with time if you need to. It's not just groove with me. Come on. Work. Over here. Good. Push down. Do it again. Right here. Work. Now, what we're going to do here, walk forward to the right. Walk out. Walk. Now, yeah, other side. Now, what we're doing here, this is just your time to be like, I'm cute, and I'm working out, and guess what? I'm doing some abs. Yeah. I ain't going to show you too much now, but here we go. Now, this is called the walking shake. You know why? Because you can walk 4 here, then the other side. Work it out. Shake it out. Other side. Go ahead. Now stop. Look. Hey. I'm going to do something with it, but I want you to have fun here. Look. Get out. Push. One more time. Go. Push down. What we do here, walk to the other side. Now, take the arms into the basic bounce position. Now, 1, other side. Come on. Hit it. You got it? Feel it. Tilt tuck tight. Do it again. Work. How we doing, y'all? Hey, y'all grooving. And do it again. We just grooving. Ready? Now, if you want, you can put your hands to your knees. sure you use your abs like this. Look. Ooh. Yeah, go. Yeah. But I'm gonna stay up because I still want to work here. But you can make it fun how you want. Do it again, right? Now push. Good. One more time, right here. Now we're gonna go back into the pump it up. Slow one, 2 and 2. Let's go. Look. Pump it up, y'all. Tighten up the core, y'all. So you got it? You feel it? Come on. Tighten up and push. Come on. You gotta groove and have fun with it. And groove with me. Come on. Hit. Are you ready? Let's go. This is tempo. Let's push. Let's push. Get it. Work out, y'all. Now you got it. Now you did. Come on. And push. And go. Come on. Give me 8 more. Come on. Shoulders over. You feel it, don't you? Come on. Work those chords. Work those abs. Here we go. Ready? White bounce right here. Now sit up. Go. Hit it up. 2 and 2. Up. Press down, right? Hey. Go. Come on. Give me 4 more. You gotta tighten up. Keep it in the air. Yeah. Hey. You got it. Go. Walk the shape to me. Walk it out. Go. Cool. Do it again, y'all. Hey. Now you know what? I know you better be walking like you got some energy like this. Yeah. Where you want to go walk like this? Hey. Not like that. Now here we go. Hey. Do it again, y'all. Come on, push. Break it up. You got it. Do it again. Work. Now, we're going to pump it up. Tempo this time. Ready? Let's go. Tighten up. Tighten up. Now, push. Keep going. Hit. Are you ready? Hard enough. Let me what you do here. Go it up in the air. Work it out. Hit it down. Say yeah, y'all. Come on. Ready? Walk it out right here. Walk. Yeah. And do it again. Work. You got it? Oh. I think some of my friends are going for it. They're like, yeah. Do it again. Come on. Work. Here we go. Hit. Watch it right there. Left right here. Ooh, yeah. All right. We just got that shape. You know what?
Somebody's still watching me.
Roll down. The key part is we'll keep those abs nice and tight. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 abs there. Come on. Let's go. And 5. Are you ready to go to a little grapevine? 4 steps to the right with the leg behind. Look. Oh, and groove. Yeah. See that now? I know you're not a little grapevine by now, but look. I want you to move to the eye. Have a little fun with it. Find your own flavor, but you can add nice and strong. Now, what I need you to do right here. Bring your arms up here. Look. Just press the press it down. Look. Press. Just keep it pressed. And down. Just stay down here. Look. And go open. Come on. You got it? You feel that? Keep going. Come on. 4 more. Y'all. Hit. And 3. Now. We're going to go into the throw down now. Here you go. Keep your toes up tighter. Keep it going. Look. Go on to the right. Open. Work. Work the open here. See? You know, tighten up as you go. And exhale on the throw. Look. Throw. Hit. Down. Push. You can look at it. Come on. You got that? Step side to side right here. Come on. Yeah. Just groove now. Just have fun. Come on. I wish I was there with you grooving, but I am. Come right here. Come on. Keep it going. Now, good. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to go back into the throw down. Are you ready? Let's go. Throw down. Come on. Come on. Push. Now, once you get used to it, and you can groove in, you got to go for it. Are y'all going for it? Come on. 3, 4 more. Come on. Here we go. Now, tighten up your abs. Step side to side. Keep it tight. Look. Even when we step side to side, look. My abs are still tight. I'm moving. Good. I'm just here. Still nice and tight. Come on. Left. Push. Are you ready? Now, we're going to go into something called work. So what I need you to do is bring your arms up and bring your shoulders forward like this. Now, when you're here, tighten up. Lift the hips. Hips here. I'm tight. I'm here. Okay? You got this? Come on now. Here we go. 4 more right here. And your arms are going to go little, big. Here we go. Press forward. Right here. Push. Press. Work. Big. Now, when you get used to it, you can really dance it out and go for it. Come on. Push. You got it. Big. Give me 4 more. 4 and 3. Ready? Go down right here. Got it. Come on. Hit it in. Push. You feel that? Work it out. Come on. 4 more. Come on. Tighten up. Hip hop happens, full effect, y'all. Feel the sweat. Here we go, right here. Press the floor. Let's go, let's go. Oh, got it, come on. So front tight, go again. Little big. Come on, move. Shoulder over. Are you feeling it, y'all? Come on, get it, get it. 4 more. 4, 3. Just side to side, no. Now, take the cookie high. Now we're gonna go into something called the 19. You know why? Because it's good for those obliques. Come on, come on. Come on, take it back to the club in the 70s. I want you to go in there. Here we go. 4 and 3. Got the add your arm up here. Just drop those obliques. Drop and drop. Tighten up. Come on. Let's go. Group in now. Just keep you. It's working this arm open. See? I'm pulling in. Drop. Every time arm goes down. It's not a waste of a move. It's a fun move with a purpose. Stay with time, y'all. Come with me. Come on. 1. Yeah, this is my song. Oh my God. I love this song. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Here.
I don't think he knew they were switching the
Go down
songs.
right here. Let's go. Come on. And group. Put it out there.
Sing. Or you can get into it. And then they switch the song. He goes, oh, this is my song. He starts going really slow again.
Go for it. And ready. Press the floor. Still start tight, y'all. Come on. Push and move. Now, go into the 19th row. Ready? Let's go. 19th row. Switch. All in over. Come on. I'm right here. Come on. Go. Push down. Are you good? Are you good? You feel me? Now here we go. Listen up. Go into the door now. Right here. Go down. Come on. Yeah. You got it. Feel it. Come on. Work it. See how much smoking over it? Come on, add in. Here we go. Come on. Push. Let's do it. Press the floor right here. Come on. Oh. Good. Come on. Go. 4 and 3. Ready? Give me the 19. The 19. The 19. Push. Hit. Hit. Go. Come on. Move in. Tighten up the ass. Here we go. Go down. Right here. Go down. Push. Work it out. Push. Do it again, y'all. Push. You know what? Press the floor right here. Come on. Press. Press. Do it again. Come on. Hey. Y'all ready for the 19, man? 19 for the jump. Tighten up. Move it up. Go. Come on. Hey. And hit. Come on. Give me 8 more of these. Come on. Go. Tighten up. Move. You got it. I know the little bit to work. Tighten it. That's it. Push right. 1, 2, right here, left. All right, here we go. I'm not going to play too long. Now, here we go. We're running something called the up back. Really get exercise. Put it up and back and abs, bring the whole core together. So here we go. Take the heel up and back right here. Push with that. See? Right here, up and back. And you can stay here with it. Now, once you get it, you give it a little pump. Keep it here. And you're going to feel a little bit at that spot. Because that knee is spiky back, okay? Here's 4. When you put those up, tighten up the foot. Sit up back and look. Oh. Now, you can either come here with the function in it, or you can go in those abs inside. Come on, good. But I'd rather this function is because I know you're going for it. Come on, go 4 and 2. Ready? Switch it up. Other side, go. Hit. 4, 3. Keep going. Come on. 4 and 3. Ready? Switch it up. Other side. Let it go. Come on. Tighten up. Push. We're just building. It's going to get really crazy in a second. Here we go. Right here. Ready? Switch it up. Come on. Come on. Go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Switch it up. Come on. Tighten up the core. Some more. Switch it up. Come on. Guys, you with me? You with me, y'all? Yeah. Other side. Right here. Come on. Tighten. Down here. Now, we're going to 4 counts right here. So we got 1, 2, switch it up. Come on. 1, 2, switch it up. Go. 4. Hands up, y'all. Push. Are we good? Come on. Hit. Push. Do it again. Come on. Hit. Are you ready for the real thing? Up, back. Let's go. Single. Oh, push down. My arm is coming back. When my arm come in, I tighten up. I'm tightening the whole time. Keep going. Can you feel that? Come on, y'all. Fuck it out for me. Groove. Are we 4 and 3 now? Bring your arms up high and work that back. Come on. Push. Oh, come on. Groove. Good aim. Come on. Keep funky. Now, I tell you, this move, you gotta party. Just walk out there and like, what's up, y'all? I'm here. So we can go. Are you ready? Here we go. Right here. 1, 2, right and left. No. We want to set this up, okay? What we're going to do, we're going to set this up. We're going to take some little combination. So you can groove, have a good time with it. Are you ready? Push. Now, first we got to learn what's called the get bitch. Crank the beat. Right foot, right hand goes behind the back. So look, back, front, hip. Squeeze together like you back in, but don't really. Arms in, squeeze, hold me. Take it back, like put it in your pocket. Then shoulders over, come down. Now what we're doing, every time we move our hands and our body, we're still subtracting. Go. Down, hip, squeeze, tighten up your core. Wait, how about we do that one more time? We're going in, okay? Now what we're about to do is go tempo, and you gotta get. Are you guys ready to go for it? Ready? Work it out, tip top, tight, and go. And push, come on. Tight in, like that, do it again, work. Do you got it, y'all? Come on, push. And do it again, come on. Tighten up, toes. Abdominal, come on, go. Hit, push, you know what? Let's keep on going, yeah. Ooh, oh, hit it. Do it again, come on, work it. Hit, get hit. Come on, go. Hit, One more time here. Down here. Here you go. Side, go. Yeah, all right. How we good? Now, what we're about to do is we're about to do something called a roll out, okay? We're going to take our arms and move a little bit. Just grab your breath for a second. Are you ready? Here we go right here. Tap that foot behind, and here we go. That's all right. When you roll to the right, go. Just take it back. Now, this is cool. Tighten up your abs and get abdominals. And most of all, your obliques. Every time I go to the side, I'm hitting it down. Tighten up. Take it down. Come on. Here we go. Now you can stay retired. But we're about to do a real roll out. Big time here. Come on. Push. Work in. Push. How you feeling, y'all? Groove. Now, once you get really into it, you can really give it. Work it out. Come on. Groove. Go. Come on. 4. Do you know what? Watch it out with me right here. I'm watching out. We're going to go now. We're going to go from the up block to get busy to the roll out, okay? But you got to keep moving and going for it. Are you ready to go? Do you feel it, y'all? Let's go. Remember up block, up and back, each side. Heel, arms down. Come on, go. Push. Come on, move. Go. Give me 4 more. You got it. Work it out. Ready? Arms up high. Take it wide. Move. Push it down. Tighten. Oh, high. Move. Ready, y'all? Get big with me. Come on, push. Oh, move back. March. Right there. Come on, move. You got it. Come on, big dude. Dig it up. Come on. Squeeze those abs. Are you good? What? Hip-hop abs, y'all. This is it right here. Let's go right here. Roll out. Come on, roll out. Oh, come on. Move it out. Make it work for you. Come on. I feel good. My abs feel good. Oh, please. Push. Come on. 4 more. 4, 3. Watch it right there, left. Y'all work. Oh yeah. How you feeling? You feel good? We have 1 hip-hop abs, 2 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, y'all. You feeling good? We're gonna go into something called the kick it. We're gonna start slow with the right heel, ready? Right heel goes up, so look. Heel comes back, other side. Tighten up. Right knee comes up, then left, then right, and down. Let's do it again. Ready? Do it. Heel. Tighten up. Do it again. Other side. Right knee, then left knee, then right, and down. Let's add some arms in. We're going to cross. Over to tighten more. With the tilt up tight. Arms down. Knees up. Push. And here. Clap it up. Again. Ready? Come on. Push. And back. Go. Hit. Arms down. Knees up. Tighten. Push. This time, I want you to kick it out high. Look. So kick. Come back. Oh, absolute engagement knee. Push. And hit. tighten up. You got that again. Come on, push and back. You know what? You know it's time for knees up and to go. Tempo. Let's hit it. Go. Keep tighten. Knee up. Push. Clap it up. Let's go. Push. You got it. Knee up. Hit. Clap it out. Come on. Hit and hit. Come on. Stick. Clap it up. One more time. Come on. Hit. You got it. Now. Stay here behind you. Come up with me. Go. Push. Work. Knees up. Dig. Clap it out. Go. Hit. Push. Come on. Knees up. Dig. Get out. Again. Come on. Got it. Work out. Dig. Push. One more time. Hey. Here we go. Right here. Walk right. Foot forward. Go. Push. Other side. I told you when you walk, it's your time to just dig. Just go. Nice and tight. Feel good? Now listen. We're going to go into something called the creek. What we got to do first, we just walk, bring our shoulders forward, feet together, look. Hit. See? Feel the tuck tight again. Push down. Hit coming up. Move in. Come on. You got to learn this, y'all. Push out. Now what's going to happen? Right arm comes to the right side. Left arm forward. And just go. Look. Freak. Go. Freak. Come on. Big in. You got it. Hit. Keep it going right here. More and more. Tighten up the abs. Look at them. Come on. And hit. Now, here we go. Arms right in back. Look. Here. Go. Hit. Work. Do it, y'all. Come on. Hit. High. High. Can I get one more? Here. Push. Now, you can stay the same, or you can come with me. Stay with time here. Come with me. Arms down again. Bring your hips faster. Look. Let's go. Work. Hit. Dig. Tighten up. Back ab work. Push it out. Work in. Tighten up. Go forward. Hit. You got that? March it like that. Right here. Hey. Yeah. Feeling good now. We're going to go into a little combo, okay? We're going to start with the kidney. Tempo. Remember, you can see now I'm tired. And then we're going to right into the free. You ready? Here we go. 5, 6, 5, 6. Kick it out. Go. Work. Knees up. Tighten up. Grab it again. Go. Push it. Knees up. Free. Arms out. Go. Free. Other side. Go. Work. Do it again. Come on. Hit. Ready? Arms. Forward and back. Let's go. Push. Dig. Come on. Get it. Get it. Tilt up tight, y'all. Go. Push. Now out back. Go. Pump it up. Pump it up. Go. Pump it up. Hit. Again. Work. Hit. Hit. Boom, 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 boom. Right here. Out. Yeah. Now, feel those abs work. Even if you want to do it fast, feel it work really good now. We're going to do it again, okay? Are you ready? I'm going to count you down. Here we go. Okay. 5, 6, let's go. 5, 6. Kick it out. Oh, I love it. Do it again. Go. Push it. Come on. Now. Get out. Arms out. Go. Straight. Hit. Work. Do it again. Come on. Hit. You got it. Here. Arms. Forward and back. Let's go. Hit. Push. Tuck it under. Push. Now, arms out. Hips back. That's it right here. Pump, 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 pump. Pump, pump. Work it out, y'all. Yeah. One, two, right hand down. Feeling good?
Okay.
You are amazing. Keep it moving.
I'm not doing the cool down. I did it on Monday just to see what it was. He has a decent cool down. But I'm already running behind. Nobody's watching me on Twitch. Nobody's watching me on Instagram. Somebody's still here. On TikTok though. I appreciate you. I really do. Much obliged for your patronage. I'm a dork. I'm sorry. Fucking splashed me in the face. Anyway. So yeah, those are cheesy as hell, but they work. Cheesy and goofy, but they're fun. It's cheesy and fun. Speaking of cheesy and fun, go watch Senior Year on Netflix with Rebel Wilson if you haven't watched it. My review on IMDb was, this movie is dumb. This movie is dumb. It's cheesy. It's a 90s cliche movie without being a 90s cliche movie. It's a woke movie without being a woke movie. It's like, but it's dumb. But it's so good. It's funny. Comedic timing is great, even though the jokes are cheesy as hell. And it's kind of heartwarming too. So it's like a cheesy 90s comedy in that aspect. So yeah, go watch it. You don't have to. If you don't want to, I can't make you do it. I can't make you do anything. Anyway, let me turn on some music and we'll get started with the actual workout. Oh, and yay me, I checked my Samsung music player and it had a normalize button. Even though it didn't say normalize. Normalize is a term I was looking for yesterday that I couldn't figure out. Which obviously on my YouTube, if you watched yesterday's YouTube, you know, you'll see I'm like, what is this? What's it called? And I wrote normalize right here. And it said, set all songs to the same volume. So I don't have to worry about them going up and down and all that other crap. So they will all play the same volume. I do have to turn up a little bit. That should be good. That sounds good. Sounds about good. Since it won't get any louder than that, I'll wake my son up. If he's still awake. Alright, so I'm gonna, let's see here. Yeah, I don't need the squat rack for anything other than the decline presses. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this in position before I get started here. Just so that's out of the way. Alright, so today's first exercise, we're doing chest, shoulders, triceps in that order. First exercise will be a cable pullover on that. We had 25 pounds last time. I said I was going to keep that the same if we were doing one of 30 again, but we're doing 2 of 15, so we're going to take it up to 30. Currently have 20 pounds on there. So cut this out like right here, so I could stand this way and do them. But this seems to work. easier to focus on the chest and your back's against the thing. But it seems to work that way, so do it that way for a little bit. So maybe it gets too heavy, I might have to do it over this machine. Or you might find somebody who's a metal worker or something to cut that piece out. So I don't think it's going to mess with the structure of it, the integrity of it, stability of it. Alright, so we did 30 pounds, 15 reps. I'm going to take that to 35 for the second set. Because this way, the cable rubs against the metal, whether I stand or sit. So, this has to do for now. Okay, so that's staying at 35 next time. Second set, 35 pounds, 15 reps. I'm gonna keep that at 35. Alright, decline. I don't really need that bar anymore. Yeah, so let's... Yeah, you do. Triceps. But, put it away. Alright, so decline press. I have to set it up first. I know I got the bars down already, but so for anybody watching this episode, this thing for the first time, if you haven't watched anything else, the reason I do that last setting on the bench doesn't decline far enough. Not blocking on that one. It doesn't decline far enough. If I leave it out, it declines way too far. So on the first setting, with an additional 4-inch lift on the back, it gives it just about the right angle to do decline presses and decline flies. Nobody there. Nobody talking to nobody.
Alright, so last time we did these, we did 40 pounds. I said we're going to keep it the same if we were doing one of 30. So that means we're going to take it up to 45. So there's 25 pounds total on the bar. So it's going to be a 10 and a 2.5 on each side. Or a 7.5 and a 5. Looks like I have both those available. Oh, this is nice. Alright. That works. Although using the bigger 10-pound weights looks better on the camera. That's no different. About right. Okay, that was too light. So 45 to 15 reps. I'm actually going to take that up to I'm going to take up to 55. We're going to go 55. So I'm going to add 10 more pounds to that. So 55. 35 total, 17.5 on each side, right? It's 10, 15, 17.5. Alright, so 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55. Okay. Alright, so 55 pounds, 15 reps, and I think we can go up to, we can do 60 next time. We'll do 60. Take it up to 60. How many times can I say 60? 60? 60 times? I can say 60. Okay, good. Alright, decline flies. So, my weight's away. Alright, so we did 10 pounds last time. I said we're going to keep it 10 pounds, so that means we're going to 12. Alright, 12 pounds, 15 reps. Even though I think I can still get a good 15 reps out of that one and still be a good workout on that exercise, I'm going to go ahead and take them up to 15. I'm feeling confident. Feeling confident. That's the exercise that will give you that nice design, that pec, that nice full pec. And when you do this, it'll pop. Instead of being man boobs. I sweat. Should just let it dry. Whatever, it'll still right when it's dry. It's fine, whatever. Alright, 15 pounds, 15 reps. It's definitely staying at 15. Chest is done, on the shoulders, we're going to the bench away. Just back there. And make things work. That means putting together a couple pieces of wood. Put together a couple pieces of wood. What am I doing here? Leave these in. I need these for the next exercise. Then the other two, lying down shoulder flies.
kind of in the maybe the bench for at least 1, 2, 3 more exercises. So, but I do want it out of the way. It's fun. It's fun. I got 2 that I stand over here for, and then that. And 1 more I stand over here for, with a cable machine that I'm going to use it again. Anyway. Alright, so front shoulder raises. With 12 pounds last time I said I was going to keep it at 12, so that means we're doing 15. The last one was a good one. Good exercise that was. That is. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, With shoulders, it's kind of hard to judge how well that is if you can take it up for the same set that you're rep set that you're doing. So I think I'm going to keep that one at 15. So 15 pounds, 15 reps. We'll keep that at 15 for the next set. But the nice thing about alternating arms is that you get that extra little mini break. A mini break while the other arm's working. So it does allow you to do a little more than if you were just doing, you know, constant up and down. A little mini break actually helps a bit. So if I was just doing 15 straight like this, and then switching and doing 15 straight like this, probably wouldn't be able to do the 15s. I'd probably have to do the 12s. But I like alternating because it gives a little bit of weight here to balance out the weight that's out here, which is really more so a big thing when you have like heavier weights like 15 and above. I know 15 for some people isn't a lot of weight, but when you're using the 3, 5, 8 pound weights, you can do both at the same time. Doesn't matter. You never want to do both at the same time when you got heavy weights, because then you're going to start doing this shit to balance yourself out. Alright, second set. Still 15 pounds. I'm going to switch my legs. I don't know why. A little OCD shit in me. I did the first one this way, so my left hand is slightly in front of the right hand. So this way, it's done. I'm done. Even though I hate standing this way. But anyway. Alright, here we go. I gotta wait till the measure starts. Yeah, I made the right call now. I think if I would have added those
2-pound wrist weights, I think I still would have had to swing those last two up.
and that would be in proper form, and it wouldn't be beneficial. So 15 pounds, 15 reps. I'm going to start with that again next week. All right, behind the neck press. I do these in lieu of upright rows because that's how I fucked up my elbow, and so far so good. I'm in 7 weeks now, and I haven't really done anything to mess up my elbow. I do feel it sometimes, like, you know, I'll feel like start, like if I don't hold those right on those ones, like I'll feel a little bit, and then, supination curls, I might start to feel a little bit here, and I know on the tight curls, it'll get a little bit strained or sore, not sore, but, you know, I'll start feeling it, but I don't get any actual pain. So hopefully, so far so good, taking out the upright rows and doing behind the neck press, which is nearly the same exercise, nearly, as the upright rows. So anyway, behind the neck press, just barbell back here, and going up. We had 15 pounds last time. I said it would take up to 20 if we were doing the one of 30, but we're doing two of 15. So that goes to 25. Being that it's a 10-pound weight, I need 7.5 pounds on each side. So 15 and 10. Grab the actual 7.5. Is that what I'm doing? Right? 15 to 20, and we're doing 25. Yes, that's correct. Alright. Yes. Alright, and yes, the quick clamps do work on the threaded bars. I just wouldn't trust them with heavy weights. So if you're going to use a threaded bar, they'll work fine on a solid bar. But if you're going to use a threaded bar, it doesn't have as much gripping surface as a solid bar does. So if you're going to do heavy weights, I probably would just use the threaded twist blocks that they come with, as opposed to putting these on there. But for now, with only 7.5 pound weight on there, you know, maybe a couple 10 pounds, I'm not worried about it. It saves time. Those twist things are annoying. I don't like them. Alright. Anyway, eventually, maybe, I might have to start using the squat rack to do these. But this little weight, right now, I'm not worried about it. And again, I don't understand why for the military presses I feel the need to sit down on the bench. But these other ones, I have to stand up. I think it's mainly because the military press comes in front of the body, so it's more comfortable sitting down as opposed to standing and balancing yourself. You're counteracting the weight, going a little bit forward. These ones basically are on your back. They go straight up, and you're just kind of standing there. So I guess, I don't know, maybe, whatever. But this and the overarm extension, I always just like to do it this way. I don't like this bar. This bar sucks. Little three-piece stupid thing, but at this point, I'm over 20 pounds. I could use the regular bar, the solid 20-pound bar. Those three-piece bars. It wiggles, I don't like it, but it works for now, so definitely won't put a lot of weight on this. So, alright, anyway,
25 pounds, 15 reps. Here we go. My Instagram phone's about to die, but there's nobody on it. Has maybe the whole time. So. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 15, that was perfect. I actually think I can add 5 more pounds to that. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Alright, so that was 25 pounds, 15 reps. We're gonna go to 30 for the next set. I could go upstairs and get my cord, but again, nobody has been on Instagram the entire time. Nobody's been on Twitch the entire time. But whatever. If it dies, it dies. Probably tried to shut everything off before I came down here. I don't plug my regular phone in. So usually I come down with like 95% on it. And I usually go back upstairs with like 20%. 20, actually about 30%. I use about 60% battery life streaming a live video for about 2 hours, but I've been down here since 11:30 and I spent the entire first hour talking about movies with somebody, which is fine. I don't have much to do. My son's sleeping. I'll probably just go pull weeds after this, even though I don't want to. But they need done. These are nice and long, you just grab them and pull them out. Alright, so, okay, 30 pounds. Second set, 30 pounds. You know, if I bought an extra charger, USB-C charger would be down here. I wouldn't worry about it. all kinds of mini and micro chargers. I got 2 USB chargers in my car and the one that I have upstairs. Then again, I could just bring that down here with me. Take it right back upstairs. Because the phones go off with me anyway. 2 of the 3 phones go off with me anyway. One I'm using TikTok for and one I'm using Instagram for. They go upstairs every time. So I could just take a charger with me as well. Usually I don't need it, but whatever. Anyway, 30 pounds, 15 reps. Here we go. Okay. Gotta had a little spider buddy down there, but apparently it's just a fuzzy. Alright, 30 pounds, 15 reps. We'll stick with 30 pounds for next week on that one. Alright, put this away, then we're doing lying down rear shoulder flies. Here. There. Because technically I could use the easy bar as well.
other one, the rusty one, and use a clip. I can use a quick clamp on that too. But now, that one's all yuck. All right, so this one I don't lie flat because I can't. The weights touch the ground. You can do this seated. I always tell you, you can do it this way, lean over, and do it that way. You can bend over and do it like this. Whatever works both ways. I prefer this way. So that's how I'm doing it. Alright, we did 10 pounds last time. I said we'll keep it the same for 1 to 30, so that means we are going to 12 this time. It still seems like the music gets quieter instead of staying in the same volume. I don't know. You see how close I am here. I always come up just a little bit, so I'm a little more, my back curves a little bit more. Then I tilt my hands outward to ensure that my elbows go the way they need to go and not this way. Alright, so 15 pounds, 12 pounds, 15 reps. I'm going to take that to 15 pounds for the next set. So, you know, if that phone turns off, my music turns on. So I better hurry up. Alright, 15 pounds, second sets. Alright. 15 pounds, 15 reps. I'm going to keep that at 15 for next time. Next, shoulder shrugs. Let me get these put away first. That way. Alright, so we gotta look at Mondays for shoulder shrugs. Shoulder shrugs I do twice a week. Only exercise I do twice a week. Looks like on shoulder shrugs, we had 25 pounds. We're gonna keep them at 25 pounds for today. So I did 25 pounds. Then after that, we just got triceps to do. Again, shoulder shrugs, you don't want to roll your shoulders. You want to go straight up. Just give like a 1-2 second hold, whatever you want to do there. Or you want to give it just a slight hold. There it goes. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's annoying. Oh, very good. So, and even though I talk too long, if I were to plug my phone in while I was waiting for my other phone down here, this phone to charge, because that was dead when I came down here. So I didn't use it yesterday, because it didn't work yesterday. So I wonder if it'll work. I think that I think maybe Instagram stopped its 1 hour bullshit. Cause it's been over an hour since I restarted it. I don't know. Anyway, what are we doing? 25 pounds? 25 pounds, 15 reps. I'm doing 30s. We're on 30 seconds. No, we're doing 27, so that's what we're doing. So just add the extra 2 pounds to the wrist weights. The only exercise that I really can't do this on is the inward forearm curls, because obviously that's not going to do anything. All right. So 2-pound wrist weights, 25 pounds, it's 27 pounds. So here we go, second set, 15 reps. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, probably could have done the 30s. Like earlier when I took up the decline press by 2 increments, I could have taken that up by 2 increments, but we're doing it again on Thursday anyway. So, 27 pounds, 15 reps. That will go up to 30 on Thursday. Alright, triceps. Tricep push downs. This is the normal grip or wide grip as opposed to what we did on Monday, where we did the close grip push downs. So, same thing, just hands are out here. Works the tricep a little bit different. Alright, so we said we did 20 pounds. We did 20 pounds, so it's going to go up to 25 if we were still doing the 1 to 30, so that means we're going to 30. Not exactly sure what I got on there. I think I got 35 on there. 10, 20, 25, 30, 35. And 15. Yep. You got burrs. Alright, so basically shoulder width apart. Right about here. You don't gotta be out here. You want to be in here. Right? Not so much here or here, but like this area. Anybody get that reference? Nobody's watching me, doesn't matter. I know you can hear me over here. That does not count as one. Next. I could have done 35. I could have kept it the same to be fine. And I could keep it the same for the next one, it would also be fine. But 30 pounds, 15 reps, we are going to take it back up to 35. Even though we haven't done 35 in the exercise, we take the weight back up because it's already 35 when I got over there. Water. Water ist gut. Das ist gut. Alright, second set, 35 pounds. Again, that's not one. So ja, das gut. Das gut, ja. Can't do accents. 35 pounds, 15 reps, that will stay 15 pounds for next week. And then, no, and then. What's that from? Overhead extensions. Whew. 8 pounds, said we're going to keep it at 8, which means we're going to 10. 10. Again, this is a single weight exercise, it's a one-arm exercise. And your left arm, or your right arm, whichever one you decide to not start with, gets a little break while you work the other one. So I would start with your more dominant arm, because it doesn't need the break as much as your other arm does. Anyway, don't do that. That was not the right way of doing that. Don't do that. Alright. Alright, so this is starting position here. Got hold. Alright, you can hold your arm here in place if you want to, if you can. Or you can watch yourself in the mirrors or your selfie camera, as I'm doing. Okay, and then just straight up. That's it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Already start feeling that. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, I can almost guarantee you I'm not getting 15 out of my left arm without some extra help. So probably means we'll be staying. I might have to take it down to 8 for next one. Which doesn't make any sense. I can use 30. Should be able to do 8. Should be able to do 15. With a couple extra pounds. Just fine. Alright. Left arm. Don't hold on this side. Whatever. Weird. Now, like 2 years ago when I was doing these, I could like knock out like 15 over here, 10, 15 over here just fine, and then like the same weight I could get like 2 out of this arm. Now this one seems to be doing better than that. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm down here way too long. Daughter's boyfriend's watching me on Instagram. Or at least he was. Anyway, set 2. Keeping the 10 pounds definitely. I think the problem was I was back here as opposed to being here. This is correct. 6, 7, 8. Yeah. 10. 11. Although, there it is. 12. Mini break. 13. Fuck. I was wrong. It's just the arm. 14. Oh my god. I need one more. I need one more. I need one more. 15. Okay. It's going to stay 10 for a while, I guarantee that. I'm just really confused that this one's weaker than this one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay.
All right, 10 pounds, 15 reps. I didn't write that down the first one. Second set, 10 pounds, 15 reps is most definitely, without a doubt, staying at 10 next week. All right, last exercise, lying down, cross body extensions. That's all it is, backhand, basically, but kind of going this way. Start here, not here, not this way. Then you're doing a shoulder exercise. 8 pounds last time, so we're gonna keep it at 8 pounds, which means I need to get to 10 again. 10 to the bench. This is a flat bench. It is a gravity-driven one. Gravity. Gravity? The gravity of the situation. Oh. Do that. Okay. It's another single arm exercise. Because you're going across the body. Shit there. 10 pounds, 15 reps, take that up to 12 for this one. Just one weight. Dumbass, so they're looking for the other weight. You know you can buy dumbbells. I know I got the 3s, the 5s, the 8s, the 10s, and the 12s. And then it goes 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. You can buy 2.5 pound increments. So you can get like 17 and a half and 22 and a half and 27 and a half, etc. I didn't know that. I found that out looking for weights. I'm like, oh, but they're super expensive. It's like the cost of like 2 of the one below it for one of those, and then the one above it is only a little bit more expensive than the 15. Like the 15 costs like $15, and the 20 costs like $18, and then the 22 and a half costs like $30. At least last time I looked a couple years ago. That'd be nice. It'd be nice to have those increments. At least on the lower weights for sure. The bigger weights, you're probably gonna be able to jump 5 pounds at a time easier. Since you're going from like 90 to 95, you know, that's what you're using. 40 to 45 at that point, you should have no problem jumping 5 pounds. But on these smaller weights, it would be nice. Up to, I'd say, about 30 pounds. It'd be nice to have those minor increments. Even like 25, you know, whatever. Anyway, I'm wasting time. I'm stalling. The last exercise.
Almost dropped it. I might just maybe order the 17 and a half just to start with. So when these like smaller exercises, you know, like these ones get up there at that point. Then again, most of those ankle weights, the wrist weights will work. So. Start with 12 next time when I want to. So 12 pounds, 15 reps, and we'll keep that at 12 for next week, and that is it. We are done for. See, now the music's going to be off. Alright, and I spent way too much talking in the beginning of this before I started my workout, so there's no need to be talking afterwards. However, I don't think I got a chance to say the fact that with there was a teacher that shared something about... No, I did talk about that at the beginning. I don't remember. It was so long. Talking about so much shit. Gun control and movies and actors and body shapes and stuff like that. I don't know. Alright, so week 4 is done. Tomorrow is abs, back, and biceps. Part 2. So we'll just give a little typical closing. Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all the same username. TikTok is my main account. I'm just going to do that because of the little text there. Anyway. TikTok's my main account, so I would prefer that you direct any questions, comments, concerns to TikTok and my fitness journey playlist or the Q&A feature so I can make a video reply. If you don't want to do that and you want to communicate through the other apps, that is perfectly fine as well. It's just my preferred method is TikTok. All workout videos are posted to YouTube daily, so today's workout will be uploaded, should be uploaded by tomorrow, by the time tomorrow's workout is done. So it's a day behind basically. So you have to edit it, it's got to process, and become an actual video, and then I have to upload that video to YouTube. So it takes a little bit of time, but they're usually uploaded on a daily basis at this point, and they're just, I am only 1 day behind, so they get posted either by the end of the day or usually the next morning. Late, or next morning, or I don't know what I'm saying. After midnight the day of, or early the next morning. So either way is the next day technically. All the videos on my fitness journey playlist that I post on TikTok have been uploaded and will be uploaded to YouTube as I make them. Currently they are up to date.
Instagram does have some of those videos. Basically, my highlight reels, my weekly result videos, and they also have the before and after weekly pictures as well. So if you want to see those are there. Along with my paintings and my drawings. Some are nice, some are crap. A bunch of tie knots that I used to wear, some other shit. So that's my Instagram page. It's a basic Instagram page, nothing special. Yeah, that is it. I'm done. Why? Food.